Everyone, we're here at Techweek 2015. I'm with Brent Payne, SEO expert. Maybe clear up a couple misconceptions that seem to consistently fly around.
Let's do it.
The first of which, what do you think is probably the biggest misconception when it comes to search engine optimization?
Well, I think a lot of people are really obsessed with writing great content, which you should be, absolutely. Great content is definitely key. The part where they stop is, okay, I wrote the great content and everyone will just show up to my site now. I'll rank well for it, everyone will show up, I'll get a ton of traffic from SEO. Google says that's all I need to do. Well, it's not. You need to write the great content and then promote that content properly. And whether that's by reaching out to specific sets of websites or people that you think might be interested in that, or even just having a decent social media voice to be able to project that content and get people to share it and link to it. That's the second half that you really have got to do. I talked to journalists about this when I was at Tribune. I was their SEO director for like 4 years. Yep. And the big change they had to wrap their head around was that they weren't just writers. They were writers and promoters of their content. And people need to continue to remember that today, because it's not just content is king and you need to promote that. So
awesome. Just when it comes to putting out content, what do you think is the biggest mistake they make on a regular basis?
So you have to remember to be unique. So Google's entire goal is to index all the world's information and make it publicly available for free. But that doesn't mean they want multiple copies of the same information. So if you have the exact same product description as Amazon.com, they've already seen that product description. And they're going to rank Amazon because they have better link structure. They're much more popular, better site probably, right? Probably. And that is where people kind of fall down. They take that same product description from the same source, an Ingram Micro or a Tech Data or whoever it is that they get their feeds from, and they use that same exact content without adding something more to it. Add additional something, right? Whether that's rewriting it just to be unique, that's one step. Although Google will tell you add something more to it, maybe add your own review of the product or something like that. When it comes to regular content, not product stuff, same thing. A lot of people in real estate will take the MLS and only add the MLS information.
The MLS,
Keep in mind, there's thousands of websites that have the exact same data. Maybe you keep that core data, but you add a ton of stuff around it. Look at what Trulia is doing. Look at what Zillow is doing, right? They have a ton of information with that same MLS info, but overall, collectively, their data is completely unique than the MLS data.
And you mentioned having unique content. What about timeliness? So we're a tech and gaming site. We release a lot of news. Does timeliness have anything to do with search engine optimization, or is it just unique, different content?
So again, pulling on some of my Tribune experience,
sure.
There's only about a 3-hour window in news that matters, right? If you aren't showing up within that 3 hours, you're missing about 85 to 90% of the traffic for that particular piece of news. Gotcha. So it's really important to have timeliness, absolutely. But timeliness has to be paired with relevancy and enough information to make it interesting to Google. So you can't just have that one paragraph blurb about, oh, here's the latest game, it's awesome, go check it out.
Here's a trailer.
Right. You need to have more than that, but you need to be able to write that quickly. So a lot of what Tribune does in the obituary section, a lot of media sites, they rewrite, or they write the obituaries first, before they even die, right? And they have those canned obituaries already set up, so they can immediately push those out to rank well for Michael Jackson's death or whatever it may be.
Sure.
And so if you can do the same type of thing where you can be ready for that game release that comes out and wait until you can finally actually release that information, get it out with quality content and timeliness, but also the relevancy. Look and see through the Google Keyword Planner what people are actually searching for that's around that content. Is it Michael Jackson dead? Is it Michael Jackson heart attack? What is it that people are searching for?
With the downfall, I guess you could say, of Google PageRank, what's the next maybe ranking system you could use in terms of maybe gauging your search presence? Because now that PageRank is no longer really valid, Google's basically said we're done with this. There's really no way to say, I rank higher than this website.
Yeah.
Is there a good metric system that sites could use?
So we use, and I've used for years, Moz.com.
Moz. Okay.
So Moz.com has a great little tool that gives you kind of the Moz rank, both on domain and page. Keep in mind that Moz is only crawling about a third of the web.
Okay.
Or a third of what Google's crawling. A third of what Google's crawling. So 2/3 of that data is still unknown, right? So maybe you're getting your competitor or you are getting a lot of strength from that 2/3 that Moz hasn't crawled yet.
Sure.
Rand Fishkin's working on fixing that problem. I've
Perfect.
talked to him a couple of times about it in the past, and they're trying to get better and faster at crawling the entire web to pull in those data points. But for now, that's what you have to work with. I like that system the best out of everything else.
Out of all the others.
Yep.
Gotcha. Awesome. How do you think that content dissimulation is evolving?
I think you probably have content hubs now, right? I think social media plays in that as well. So you have to pay attention to what Google has access to when it comes to content. Social media, they have a hard time with because of Google+. Although they did gain their Twitter relationship back again, they're still having a hard time with Facebook. And eventually they'll be able to figure out all those signals. But I think a lot of content is being shared through social now.
Yeah.
And it's not just through the RSS feeds of the 90s or 2000s, right? So I think that's a big change. I think the other thing is that you have experts now, right? Either writer experts or domain.com experts, right?
Yep.
Whatever that is. And so you start to see where people are really trying to niche and become the best at, whatever that is. So I think that's some of the changes that are happening out there.
Gotcha. I guess the last final question would be, if you had one piece of advice to somebody who's looking to maybe make a change to their SEO, make a change for better, what is like the number one thing you'd say, this is what you need to do first?
Consolidate. Yeah, a lot of the positive impact we've seen is through consolidation of the page rank, if you would, outdated term, but that SEO juice into a lower number of pages that have more juice going to them. We saw that at Tribune. We see that with most of our major clients that are out there. Just making sure that you figure out what is the single destination page for a set of key phrases and focusing all of your link structure on that.
301 redirects, the whole
301
thing.
redirects, canonicals, cross-domain canonicals if you have multiple websites, and really trying to focus on that.
Perfect. Awesome. Thanks for talking with me.
No problem. Thanks.
Stay tuned to our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and definitely our YouTube page for more Tech Week 2015 coverage.